background. Welcome back to Call the Harline Hotline, and today's topic is background. So, we've had the first two initial episodes, just an intro episode with 2026, and then we also had the episode with a special guest. And I thought, let's take it back a couple of steps and discuss my background. Because I do understand not a lot of people may know me or may be new to the channel and are just sort of discovering it. So I wanted to give a bit of background details on how I decided to do this podcast, why I did it, and a background into me. So obviously you know my name, it's Harleen, and I am 19 years old and I'm currently still studying. So I study management and marketing at university and I'm in my second year, and I'm also a part-time swim teacher. So that's a little bit about me. Um, the reason I decided to do this podcast actually started from the summer school internship that I did. So over summer, I did this 8-week program with BFS, which is Brixton Finishing School, and we had a chance to go visit Kiss FM and the radio show and everything. And I had a chance to do a lot of presentations, and I realized shit, mind my language. I do really enjoy I do really enjoy this. Like, I enjoy presenting, I enjoy the whole radio aspect of it. I love making presentations, I love doing them, which is something that I'd started to discover whilst I was studying as well, even in secondary school, when there were options to make videos, for example, and to interview people. I would always be on it. I'd be like, yeah, I really want to do it. Or going on to university during my first year, we were given the task to make a presentation, and I was so excited, whereas all my peers were just like, no, 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 this is not our thing. So I kind of like going along the journey, I realized I do like interaction, I do love talking. I started making TikToks when my sister got married, which was during the time of my A level, so year 12, year 13. And from there, I also realized that I enjoy all this social stuff platform, and I also started doing these little things where I'd call them train vlogs. So on Snapchat, I'd post little snippets. I say little, but I would yap on for ages, like 3 minutes in a row, and I'd have so much to say. But there were short snippets in the sense that it was only 3 minutes long. Like, that would be the maximum I would ever yap about, where I just talk about my journey or like something that had happened during the event of the train, like, oh, I got approached by this man today, and I'll just literally talk about it the whole time, or something that had gone on at work, because working as a swimming teacher, it has given me a lot of experiences, like a lot of random things. Like, you wouldn't realize it, but the daily communication you do as a swim teacher is actually crazy. Like the age range as well, because you're communicating with children, but you're also communicating with adults as well. And it's a quite a large network of people that you have to work with. So you've got the sales team that you communicate with, you've got the lifeguards that you communicate with, and then you've got the parents, the children, and like other stuff as well. So that meant like every single group of people that you talk to, your conversation will be different. And it made me realize I actually do like yapping, and I wanted to channel it somewhere. So obviously the train vlogs, the swim teaching, loving to present, sort of led me to this pathway here. And then at Brixton Finishing School, the radio presenting, I wanted to do something with a bit of an impact. And I did want to continue it on a Snapchat with my train vlogs, but I realized that I wasn't taking the train as often as I was during my first year, and I realized it was just a bit like not consistent and not clean. Not to say like with this podcast, I have been struggling to keep it consistent and it's only just started up, but it's given me more of a cleaner cut process and to know where to post it. So I've been posting on YouTube and Spotify, which gives people the option to watch it, because I did have like people be like, oh yeah, sometimes on Snapchat I see your vlogs and I just skip through. So I wanted to do something where I could actually talk about conversations and topics rather than meaningless, endless conversations. Not to say they weren't fun, like, not all of them were meaningless, but some of them were. So, yeah, that's why I chose to launch Call the Harleen Hotline. And the topic that actually really inspired me, and hopefully I will be doing that topic soon, is maturity. So I really wanted to discuss the idea of maturity. I remember like just getting into an argument, and like I've had a lot of debate around the word maturity, like with my sisters, with like my friends and everyone. and I wanted to discuss this topic. So I was like, why not do it in a podcast form? Podcasts are so fun. You've got like that video element, but you've also got the audio element. So that's another thing. So when I initially started off, I was like, I just want to do audio. I'm just going to keep it very low key. No one's going to see my face or anything. And then I sort of had to push myself, and I was like, yeah, I say that, but when I'm like scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, I do like having the visuals, and I'm quite a visual person myself. So I thought, why not do both? So, a little bit more background information about me that sort of shaped me to who I am today is I actually did karate growing up. So, I started when I was around 12, 13, and I remember I didn't want to start karate at all because I was just like, I'm too old for this, like, I'm not going to fit in, I'm not going to do well. But I ended up really enjoying it and like flying it through. Then COVID happened, took a little break, went back off to COVID, then obviously tried to do it, but I couldn't keep up when my A levels hit, and that's sort of when I took a step back. And I was so very, very close. I remember being half purple belt, which meant that I had the brown and the black left. So purple, brown, black. So it was only about three belts left. But I sort of had to take a step back from it just because it was affecting my mental health, which was crazy because it was meant to help my mental health, but it was affecting my mental health, and I just couldn't deal with it whilst doing A levels. I always said I would go back, but now I have too many bitter memories to go back. But it did make me realize that I'm very extroverted. I enjoy talking to people because that's what I ended up doing at Croy. Not only like I had, it gave me that confidence. So I did have that lack of confidence initially starting off because I do remember talking in an episode being clingy with my mum and stuff. And it did help me come out of my shell and discover who I am. So I'm very, very grateful for it, and it shaped me to where I am today. And finally, the last final reason why I did decide to do my podcast was growing up, I always wanted to become an actress. That was something I wanted to do. And I didn't really fulfill it. And I wanted to do something that will help me get to that goal. So I thought, why not, in the meanwhile, start our podcast, get myself out there, get my name recognized. And that's something that hopefully I'll be able to attain in the future. So that is background done, a little bit of summary of my background in a very, very short snippet, and sort of like an entryway to understand why I chose to do Call the Harline Hotline. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time.